When I was a kid, I was super weird. First off, we moved a lot. In fact, I went to more than 10 schools in a half a dozen countries: Australia, England, Pakistan, Israel, Brooklyn. I didn't know about the sports that the other kids played. I didn't know the traditions, the rules. I didn't even speak the language in a lot of cases. Or if I did, I had a weird accent. I was always the new kid, the weird kid, utterly clueless about how things are done. I had a father and I had two stepfathers. So I was an only child, but I also had lots and lots of step siblings. And on top of that, I was just a born outsider. I was just an oddball. You probably didn't have this exact experience, but I'll bet that you're weird anyway. We all are. We all had our own very specific weird experiences raised by weird people in weird places with weird rules and beliefs and preferences, and we had to struggle to figure out how to fit in or get the hell out. A lot of successful and creative people grew up with that feeling, this feeling of being an outsider, of being inadequate, self-doubt. And because we have high standards, we always feel like failures because we can never reach our standards. And we rarely give ourselves credit at all, no matter what we accomplish. So for weirdos, if we become successful, we feel like a fraud. And you can't always tell. A lot of successful people seem really full of themselves. They're prima donnas and egotists, but it's all a sham. Inside, they're full of doubt and insecurity too. Fortunately, these crazy feelings are also a powerful motivator. Instead of giving up, we weirdos work harder. Instead of resting on our laurels, we keep striving, trying new things, pushing, perfecting. Because we're insecure in our judgments, we can spend too much time judging, evaluating, prognosticating, and risk ending up by the side of the road, just paralyzed. So maybe you shouldn't trust your own assessment of your abilities. Stop constantly measuring yourself and your progress and your validity. What do you know after all, weirdo? Instead, keep going, keep making, keep doing. You may still be a weirdo, but you're in awesome company. All right, so being weird isn't necessarily a problem, but here's why it could seem like one. So first of all, this modern world that we live in has been designed to insist on conformity and to reject weirdness. That's a basic requirement for the way the world of mass production and mass consumption seem to work. When the global supply chain is built on round holes, you're going to pay dearly if you want weird square pegs. So for the last century or so, our society has been all about normal. Normal people eat fast food. They read bestsellers. They speak American English. No one wants lumpy homegrown tomatoes or home-baked bread or weird accents. We want store-bought. We want normal. And so does this capitalist, industrialist system that rules the world. And I know all this because for 30 years, it was my job. I was paid to help define normal. I was an ad guy, and I spent millions of other people's dollars to create stories that promised the benefits of normal. Stories that had to reach hundreds of millions of people of all types at once. And when everybody watches the same TV show every week, you can air a single commercial that shows how a normal family benefits from a single narrow choice of products: Maxwell House or Folgers, Colgate or Crest, Ford or GM. Nothing weird. That way you don't have to make commercials in different languages with different casting, or different sorts of bespoke half-calf coffee. Instead, you make it clear that anything that doesn't fit into this story of normal is unacceptable and weird. And for 100 years, people have been going along with it. And I helped to make it so, me, the little weirdo. But recently, thanks to technology, weird is back. We're waking up to the fact that we've lost a lot because we had to suck in our guts and squeeze into normal. We had to change what we like and who we are and what we truly feel to conform to the demands of mass production. And we're done. Now we can watch anything we want, anytime we want. We can pick our own hit parade. We can be vegan or paleo. We can wear artisanal mustache wax. We can watch videos on how to make pickles on our telephones. And whatever sort of weirdo you are, well, there are millions of other similar oddballs out there. And that weirdo army can make demands that we never thought we could before until the internet brought us together into a power block that can rewrite the rules. We don't just have to choose from the small number of records that the big labels want to put out. We can listen to Cameroon hip-hop or French blues or transgender jazz quintets. We don't have to watch Marvel movies. We can watch 1960s Bollywood or octopus documentaries. We don't have to choose between Coke and Pepsi. We can have peach pie kombucha. And besides, now there are 50 varieties of Coke. Even Coke is getting weird. So whenever you feel weird about how you look, or think, or speak, or dream, or draw, remember these two things. One, weirdos have turned out to be the most successful people in the world because we're creative and we're driven. And two, normal is not normal. Normal is this myth that was foisted on human beings for just a single century out of our long, weird history. And now it's losing its power. We started out as weird monkeys, and then we became weird tribes and weird farmers and weird peasants, and now we're back to being weird again. And that's normal. The idea for this video started with one of the essays that I write every week. I write them just to send out to people who subscribe, and they're free. And I do it for the same reason that I make YouTube videos, because I have ideas and I really want to share them with you. You can get my essays too if you'd like. Just go to dannysessays.com, tell me where you want to get them, and I'll start sending them to you this week. I hope you do. Thanks for listening.